Hey guys, Johnny Thompson here. It's Quantum Week. We got Quantum drivers with the all-new Tri-Force face. It has an ultra-thin titanium face for maxed out face flexion, carbon fiber to support and provide fast recovery, and poly mesh, which binds these two together for the first time in a driver face. Let's get into it. I want you to see what those three pieces are doing for ball speed. All right guys, first up, Quantum Max. Very straight, very forgiving. Will have a slightly left to neutral start line with a neutral to slight draw bias. So when I set this club down, immediately I just see it looks very inspiring in terms of forgiveness. Got a lot of room down here. I can't get over the sound though on these new drivers. This Tri-Force face with that carbon on the back of the poly mesh, like it has changed the way these things sound, and I mean it for the better. Yep. What Quantum Max does, very, very neutral, pretty much a straight flight. It matches what's neutral to me, which is straight ball that kind of falls a little bit right. What I see for the players at home that like this Quantum Max is there's somebody who want to maximize speed, but also have some concerns about hitting fairways. This is going to be a great option. And then let's not forget about the discrete weight. So there's a little bit of adjustability there where if you want it to draw more or be a little more on the neutral side. All right, next up, Max D. So Max D we've had in the line. It's been a great driver. It's extremely forgiving. Same thing here with Quantum. We're taking advantage of that Tri-Force face though. So all these drivers have the same face tech. They all have that same speed gain. With Max D though, you're gonna get a little bit more of a left start and a little bit more of a left lateral biased. It's more upright and it's more draw biased. And what that can do for the player at home is, so if you're somebody that has a tendency where your miss is predominantly right, it can alleviate some of that. If you're somebody who hits it fairly straight and struggles to turn it over, this is a great option too, because it's just gonna be easier to draw from the CG and the lie angle. But very similar with Quantum Max in the head shape, a little bit more oversized, a little bit more stretched, more back to front. And with that, you're gonna gain forgiveness. And then the one thing that we love is that Tri-Force speed. So let's see if we hit some draws. Yep, exactly what I expect out of a draw bias driver. That is starting a little bit more left, turning over and kind of hammered. Not only are we creating speed from this new three-piece face, that carbon on the back has changed the way our drivers feel and sound, and it's for the better. I think this is the best sounding and feeling driver we've made so far. All right, so Max D, for the player that wants to alleviate some right tendencies, or for the player that's kind of stuck in neutral and really wants to see the ball turning over, can be great for adding some distance. When you start to turn the ball over, the spin's gonna come down, it's gonna run a little bit more when it hits the ground. So that's Max D. So Triple Diamond, that has become almost a franchise in itself. When we came out with Triple Diamond originally, it changed our perception on tour of a speed predominant driver. And we have made some tweaks over the years on the shape, but we really have kind of found our sweet spot with the overall shape of the head. It hasn't changed a ton, very, very minor tweaks. One of the biggest additions that we've had over the years was the AI face, and now we're marrying that AI with the new Tri-Force, with the three-piece. And when you thin out titanium as much as we have, you're gonna allow for more flex on the face, and then you have that carbon back piece that's gonna help it, one, it reinforces it, and then two, it helps it recover quicker. All that's doing is creating more ball speed. So Triple Diamond, as you guys know, or maybe you don't, but Triple Diamond is more of a start straight, maybe slightly right side of the window and wants to fall right. Again, we have that ability to take some of that fall right out with the discrete weight, but this one's set up to be neutral right now. And for me, what I expect is this to start a little bit right of where I probably want it to, and then definitely peel off. This is has been our speed machine for a while, and now we're throwing Tri-Force into it. So I'm kind of, I'm interested to see how much faster this one is. when I set this on the ground, the one thing I can see visually compared to like Max, and especially coming off of Max D, is how much flatter this sits on the ground. So flat lie angles kind of promote that neutral to right side of the window start and make it want to fall right more than it would left. Just an absolute bullet, really straight. I dig that. So Triple Diamond, made famous by Tour Golf. Xander Schauffele, John Rahm, you know, guys that have won major championships with this model. Now we're saying, hey guys, here's the driver that you won majors with, but faster. It's kind of a nice deal. Yep. What I expect, pretty much straight start line, started to bleed right. All right, so that's Triple Diamond. We've added more ball speed. That carbon has definitely changed the sound behind the face. It's reinforcing it, but it's the best sounding driver we've made, and I can't tell you how long, maybe ever. But don't forget about here. So if you're somebody who loves the Triple Diamond shape, you love the Triple Diamond speed, you have options here. So there's a fade option and a neutral option. So if you're starting to see a little bit too much bleed to the right, don't be afraid to move that weight over to the neutral side, and that'll take a little bit of that fade out of it. We're gonna get into Triple Diamond Max, and that driver came along a couple years ago, and the reason why we made Triple Diamond Max originally was the Triple Diamond was so popular on tour, but if anything, we wanted something that was a little bit more forgiving of an option, something that was maybe a little easier to turn over. And so with Triple Diamond Max, what we did is we basically took the Triple Diamond and just compressed it down. So the face gets a little bit shallower, it gets a little longer heel to toe, it gets a little longer face to back. And what that does is help grow the MOI. And when you do that, a lot of times it gets to be a little bit easier to turn over too. We've had tour wins on the PGA Tour, LPGA Tour with Triple Diamond Max. Very popular driver on both of those tours. With this new Quantum Triple Diamond Max, it's gonna sound a little similar to Triple Diamond. It's a shape that Tour has proven to be very much preferred. So you're not gonna see a huge difference when you set this on the ground compared to last year's. But again, what we are getting is we're maxing out ball speed faster than we've ever had with this Tri-Force face. We also have that same discrete weight setup. So you have the ability to make it a little more fade bias or a little bit more neutral. So on paper, should spin a little bit more, should have a little bit easier to turn over, and if I miss hit it, it should be a little bit straighter. That is testing the MOI right there. That was about a mile off the toe, but that thing is probably in the left side of the fairway, maybe crept into the first cut. That's a good driver. It's not always about the good ones, it's where your bad ones end up. That was a bad one, that ended up pretty good. All right, let's see if we can test the middle of the face. But man, it looks super forgiving on the ground. This might be a TD Max year for me. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my ball fly right there. Start straight, follow the sky right. TD Max, 73, not bad for an old guy. So that's Max, Max D, Triple Diamond Max. The one driver that we also bring to you is the Quantum Max Fast. So that driver is great for any player who's wanting to keep their swing speed up. You know, some people's speed kind of diminishes off over time. That driver has a lighter head, a lighter shaft, lighter grip. It's a great option. It also has a Tri-Force face in there, so you're gonna get all the benefits of ball speed gains that we saw with these other four, but in just an overall lighter package. Quantum, I'm having fun. I just hit 4 of the best drivers I've seen at Callaway so far. You should do the same. Get out there, get fit for the new Quantum, and I'll see you on the course.